Welcome to my American History Notes, where I discussed conclusions I've drawn from studying American history, conclusions you may not agree with, you might even be offended by. But the important thing is for me that you study American history and have your own conclusion and understanding so that when somebody on the news mentions something, it's not totally alien concept to you, that you do have some kind of understanding of what happened, at least the dates, at least the names. Um, so let's begin. We're still in Reagan's era, Ronald Wilson Reagan. And so Reagan fought to end communist power in the Caribbean. During the previous administration, communists had seized control of Grenada and Nicaragua. President Reagan cut off all economic aid to Nicaragua, increased military aid to its neighbors, and supported anti communist forces fighting the government. This was a dirty war by any standard, which included blatantly illegal and unconstitutional actions by our government, and the CIA even encouraging drug smuggling by supporters of the resistance, called Contras, in an effort to overthrow the Nicaraguan government. And it has been said that the crack cocaine epidemic came to America thanks to the CIA and their partners in the drug trade. Also, it's been said that the drug cartels that in 1986, or I think it was 1986, I could be wrong on the date, that killed the DEA agent Kiki Camarena in Mexico, were over that whole torture and murder was overseen by CIA. So there's a lot of controversy there, whether it's true or not. We may never know. But in October of 1983, Reagan ordered an invasion of Grenada, ostensibly to protect American medical students there, and allegedly at the request of fearful neighboring island nations to throw out the Cuban military personnel. After Grenadian voters elected a non communist government, America left the island in 1984. As part of his program to strengthen America's defense and to defeat the Soviet Union, Reagan announced his support for the development of a futuristic weapon that could destroy enemy nuclear weapons in flight. It became known as the Strategic Defense Initiative Organization, SEADO, or Star Wars defense by its critics, and included such media oriented terms as bright pebbles and directed energy weapon do. The idea was to turn the nuclear confrontation with the Soviet Union, part of the Cold War, from mutual assured destruction, appropriately acronymed MAD, to defending against an attack rather than merely responding with a counterattack. While some quote Star Wars ideas were used later in ballistic missile defense, President Clinton changed the name to Ballistic Missile Defense Organization, BMDO, and assigned a more regional organization. Star Wars was never actually put into place, and there are some critics of Reagan, as well as some admirers, who insist that it was a public relations ploy to further spur the Soviet Union to paranoia, fear, and spending a lot more money to try to compete. It was obvious to reasonable people that one of us would lose eventually in race to be the most threatening to the other. I remember in the late 1960s a newspaper article that made the point that we could not be behind in the nuclear arms race because if the Soviets could destroy the world 50 times over, we could only destroy the world 49 times over. There still wouldn't be anyone fighting after it had been destroyed the first time. So we'll go on to the second election, Reagan and Bush, and go on from there next time. Thank you for listening. I hope you'll study American history.